So as like a first gen college student coming to college and then getting a degree and then you went on to St. Joe's after Manor because we were
Mhm.
only a 2 year school at that time. Like what did that milestone mean for you and also like your whole family when like Mark's getting an associate's, Mark's getting a bachelor's? Like what does
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
mean for your family?
It was really cool, Kelly. That's the part where I didn't think right I would get there. I did when I stepped through the doors though through Manor. I had a good feeling that I was going to be able to get through it and do pretty well. And again, a huge probably credit I have to say another name, which is my wife, Brittany, who really pushed me each day to kind of be able to study, to get into class, to make sure I'm on time, to make myself available, to sit in front of the class. Right, those reminders to me were something. If and that's the piece with Manor. If you're there and you're willing to put the work in a little bit, teachers were always happy to help, always give you extra work if you needed to catch up on things. Just door was always open, and that's one thing I'll never ever forget. And something I actually do take with me on my journeys as I'm a kind of mentoring people and coaching people and training people is that your door and your line of communication has to always be open, because if those people are willing to learn, they're worth investing in. And a lot of people at Manor invested a ton of time in me, to a kid who might have been a little hard-headed at first, or just kind of was it one ear out the other, right, kind of type person. And again, it really struck me there. I hit home me there, to be very honest.
That's
It was just a
awesome.
quick thing. So yeah, I mean, my mom always said it was the college thing was something we all thought should happen for me, would happen for me, and where my college kind of soccer career would end. So it was really cool to be a first gen student and then kind of go on and kind of continue down that path. So
Oh, that's great. I love that. And I think it's so cool how you've talked a couple times now about how like having open doors and open communication and just being welcoming is really important. Like you said, you came on a tour, not really with much of an agenda. People didn't know this new
there's
kid
no
Mark was
schedule.
coming, but
Nope.
yet you got to meet tons of people. And I know that was, you know, 14 years ago, but that's still true today. Like we still have that often where
Never
one's
forget it.
looking around, a family's walking around, and then we all kind of make sure we stop and we talk to them. And that's part of why we say you belong here, because
Yeah.
it's the feeling and the culture that we want people to feel. And I'm always so it just like warms my heart when I hear like people who came in the 90s, in the 80s, in the 2000s, in 2012, like
And you still get the
it's always
same.
true. Like it's
Yeah.
still kind of that hasn't
Yeah.
changed.
That's one thing I will definitely say has not left me, right. If there's one thing I recall, it's the open doors, the line of communication, that was just always present. And again, we had no schedule, had no agenda. We were just walking indoors and meeting people,
Right.
and everyone stood up, shook my hand, asked me how I was doing, where I was from. Right. It was just I knew right then and there when I walked out those doors that this was the place I was going to come back.